Hospital Collections, Michaela speaking. Can I take an account or mobile number?
Hello, Michaela.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. For you?
I'm alright. Right, account number. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough.
No problem. Thank you. Is that Mr.
My name's Chris. Yeah.
Your account won't be a moment. Can you confirm the first two letters of your password?
Not of my password, no. We have this every time and I don't know what it is. I can give you my postcode, date of birth, all
Yeah, your date of birth instead, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Alright, back off. Wonderful, thanks. How can I help you today?
Right, Michaela, I've got a letter off you. And it's a bit of a threat, to be fair. We want to continue to receive great service from Orange. Talk about terminating my service. I've been waiting for a call off you for well, a week, I believe. You were supposed to call me back within 24 hours. The previous week I was waiting for a call off you all day, and it was supposed to come back within the hour. And now he's sticking threats through my door. So I'm putting Orange on notice that you're going to be charged for your dishonour. Alright, now I am absolutely fine with the idea of speaking to somebody in order to sort out this issue. But I must insist that this happens on my terms, and my terms being defined by me.
That's fine by me, Mr. How can I help you?
Okay, it's Chris, Michaela, if you don't mind.
Sorry, Chris. I'm not used to saying Chris. I'm used to using the first name. But continue, yes.
That's okay. Right, so what we're going to do?
Well, what's the nature of the issue first? Because I've got notes on the account that there's some sort of complaint going on with regards to the direct debit. It's tried to take 3 invoices and you weren't prepared for the 3 invoice amounts to be taken from your accounts, that's resulted in the payment not going through.
Okay. Alright, Michaela, so with respect, I would like to point out the dishonour of Orange. You've just stated that Orange is aware that there's a dispute going on in regard the amount that was taken out of my account.
Yeah.
So to then send me a letter to try and force, coerce, bully me into making a payment is dishonourable. I'd also like to point out it's the second letter that's been sent on this issue, which constitutes intimidation.
Right, but I understand that you've had an issue with the direct debit and you weren't prepared for that full amount to go through, and you've made a complaint about that. Why hasn't the account been paid? Could you not pay by an alternative method? Because the reason why the letters are coming out is because our collection system is automatically generating letters because you've got 3 months arrears on there at the moment.
Michaela, with respect, I've got no concerns about how you deal with your business, whether it's automatically going out or not. It's still letters that I'm receiving, it's still letters that I have to administer, and it's still intimidation.
Yeah, but the letters are justified. We're just asking for payment on the overdue balance.
Okay, I'm not, with respect, Michaela, I'm not here to debate whether or not they're justified. I'm here to give you notice that it is dishonourable, and I'll be charging you for it.
I don't understand in what way is it dishonourable that we're sending you a reminder letter about money we're owed.
Okay, it's a threat, it's intimidation. This is supposed to be under appeal or under consideration. I've been waiting, however long my last phone call to you was. It was when you sent the last letter. I haven't got the information in front of me at the moment. But you sent the last letter. I contacted you within a number of hours of receiving the letter. I was told that I would get a phone call within 24 hours. I haven't received anything until I got this letter from you again. So I'm at home, I'm waiting for a phone call from Orange, and instead of dealing with the issue, I'm receiving a letter that's threatening me with interruptions to my service.
Yeah.
If
the
I
letter,
do,
though, the letter I've got here, it says, we recently wrote to you to let you know your bill was due. We still haven't received payment. Please call 178 from your mobile or from any other phone to pay by debit or credit card. We want you to continue to receive a great service from Orange and ask that you pay the outstanding amount within the next 7 days to avoid a chance of your service being suspended. You will continue to be charged your monthly service plan. So, in my opinion, that letter is not threatening whatsoever. It's basically saying to you that you're aware, we're aware there's a balance due for payment on your account, as you are. You are aware there's a balance on there due for payment. Would you kindly call in and make the payment so your account balance can be brought up to date? It is in truth that if payment isn't made further down the line, a restriction could go on there. And to be perfectly honest with you, a customer would normally have been barred 2 months ago if they had 3 months arrears on their account. You wouldn't normally be able to have a full service, so that the bar's been delayed. But the letter's just basically letting you know that the next step on the system would be for a bar to go on there. It's not wrote in a threatening or intimidating manner. It's just highlighting the facts on the account and asking you if you'd be able to call in and resolve the payment. It's still due. Regardless of what issues you've got going on regarding the direct debit payment, trying to take payment, and if that's, I'm not sure exactly what your complaint is there because I wasn't part of that call, but the fact remains that your bills are still due for payment and we've not had a payment since December.
okay. With respect, Michaela, I accept that you're giving your opinion without being fully aware of the facts. That's accepted. I stated very, very clearly in my last communication with Orange that I would willingly make some sort of arrangement to. Okay, sorry, Michaela, I'm back.
All right.
Right, so I did offer to sort out any sort of payment to make my future monthly contractual commitments, and I was waiting for a call back to discuss that issue and also to discuss the issue of some sort of purge of the dishonour of Orange in taking 5 times the amount that I could reasonably expect to be taken out of my account all in one go. Also we had the issue of I was interrupted twice during the phone calls, for which I've charged Orange £50. That's also got to be taken into consideration. Now, because I haven't heard from Orange, we've also got to take into consideration a number of other things, such as me having to administer this letter that I've received today and the phone call that I'm making now. It's all unnecessary stuff, and it's all happening because Orange are not doing what they're supposed to do, or what they actually said they would do. Which was after the first phone call, it was I was supposed to get a call back within the hour. And on the second phone call, I was supposed to get a call back within 24 hours. And now I think it must be a week ago at least, I'm sure.
Right. I'll have a look into who you spoke to and see if I've got any notes about
I spoke to a lass called Debbie, I believe, and she put me on to, well, she said she'd get me a call back.
Right. There is a note on the 10th of April from a Debbie. It says that you want to speak to a manager. It doesn't say whether she's passed it over for a call back or not, but it does clearly state on there that you wanted to speak to a manager.
Okay, I've got it recorded myself, because I record all my calls, Michaela.
Yeah.
I've got it recorded myself that Debbie did say that I would get a call back within 24 hours.
Right, okay. She's definitely noted the account. You said you wanted to speak to a manager, so I would imagine that either the manager should have took the call over there or called you back regarding that. So I'll email Debbie about that for you and ask her what's going on there and why there's not been a call back, and see if they can get you one, as soon as possible.
I would appreciate that. Would you also place a cease and desist so that I get no more intimidating letters until this issue's been sorted?
Well, what is the complaint Michaela and explain, and then I'll have to speak to my own manager to see if we're able to hold the account for you.
Right. Okay. What I need is I need to speak to somebody where I will arrange to reinstate the monthly payments. Okay.
Yeah.
But before I'm willing to do that, I would like to speak to somebody about a purge of the dishonour of Orange and all this stress that this issue has caused me. It shouldn't cause me any stress at all. And I'm having to administer letters and phone calls that I have no wish to administer. And I'm having to wait for phone calls and contact that's never coming. And I had the embarrassment of going round to my local shop to buy a box of tea bags and not being able to use my debit card for a box of tea bags because you took £200 out of my account at one go. And as was confirmed on the previous call, it's reasonable for me to expect a sum of around £40 a month to be taken out of my account. And although I was well aware that it hadn't been paid since January, I was not aware, because it had never been explained to me, but I was not aware that I had Orange claim power of attorney by taking more than the reasonable amount out of my bank account.
Right.
Without notice, Michaela, as well. This is the issue. It's without notice. Nobody phoned me. Nobody contacted me. And Debbie accepted that was dishonourable because she offered me a £30 discount. Right? She offered me a £30 discount. First of all, she said it was as a goodwill gesture, but then she confirmed. She said as a goodwill gesture because we didn't let you know. So therefore, it's not a goodwill gesture. It's an acceptance of the dishonour of the actions of Orange in taking 5 times what I could reasonably expect to be taken out of my account.
Right. I actually disagree with that, Miss Chris, because we generate your invoices online on the 15th of each month, and on the bills it states what amount we're going to collect by direct debit. When your direct debit was reset, there was an overdue balance on your account at that time. The invoice that will have been produced after the direct debit was set, so the invoice date 15th of March, that would have actually stated on there that we would try and take 198.73. It would say, thank you for electing to pay by direct debit. Your next payment will be taken and we will take this amount. So Orange has actually sent you an invoice and generated a bill for you that states the amount that we would take by direct debit.
Okay, with respect, Michaela, you're entitled to your opinion. However, reason would confirm that if you're talking about an account that I've never accessed, I don't get emails or anything, you know. And if you're talking about an account that I have never accessed, then you should be aware of it. And anyway, when you look at it reasonably, if it's a £5 or a £10 more than what can reasonably expected to go out of the account, then fine, that's not a problem. Send the email, use the account and all that, and it's customer beware, if you like. Yeah, it's down to the customer to check. I accept that completely. But I've been a customer for a long time, well, a couple of years at least. It's never, all the time I've been with Orange, it's never been much more than the monthly account amount. Yeah? Right. Now, when it's £200, when it's 5 times more, how hard is it for Orange to contact someone? Surely it is not reasonable to just expect that to be swallowed up by somebody's bank account. 5 times more than the normal amount.
Orange won't contact somebody to let them know if the bill is, you know, if the bill's a little bit higher than what it normally is one particular month. if you, all of our customers are on internet billing. It's just the way a lot of companies do things nowadays. You're automatically put onto internet billing, so your bills are posted onto the online account for you to view each month. Obviously I understand if you don't actually, use the internet and use email, then that's pretty useless to you, and we can change it over for you to receive free paper bill statements. That's absolutely fine. But until we know that you don't use an online account and that you don't want to do things over the internet, then we just continue to have you on the internet billing system, and that's what you're on at the moment. So I understand that if you don't use the internet, then you didn't see the bill that confirmed the balance that was due for payment and to be taken. So that, that's why you weren't prepared for the full amount to go out by direct debit, because if you'd have seen the bill, then you would have been able to say, actually, I'm not quite happy for that full amount to go out. But when you reset the direct debit, how did you ever propose that the arrears would be paid? Because, obviously there is, like you said, a balance outstanding on the account that needs to be brought up to date. If you reset the direct debit and we take future invoices, when would the arrears ever been paid? So that's why the direct debit's gone for the full amount that's due for payment.
Right, Michaela, with respect, what I'd like to be able to do is answer the points that you raised before you ask me another question.
Yeah.
Because obviously with recorded phone calls,
yeah.
If I don't answer the points that you've raised, some people could say that I'm accepting what you're saying, which is not the case.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. Okay, so in terms of the system that you use to notify people, I believe that you charge for paper bills anyway. I don't see why I should be charged for that sort of thing.
We won't charge for just statements. We would send you a free paper statement every month. It's just the itemised copies that we charge.
All right, so fair enough. But at the end of the day, the fact that you use a particular system is irrelevant to me. I am a living, breathing, sentient being. I deserve people to make sure that if there's 5 times the amount I can reasonably expect to be coming out of my account actually going out, it's right that the company should contact me. Right? What you're doing is you're trying to excuse it by the systems that you use. It's your choice to use these systems, and if that's the case, then that's what you've got to accept. It is your choice. It's Orange. It's a choice of somebody at Orange for whatever reason, whether it's an eco-friendly thing for saving paper or whether it's a financial issue. Right? Somebody has made a decision to do it like that, and it has cost me. It's caused me a lot of stress. Now it's not my choice to deal with a computerized system that sends things out automatically. I think it's disrespectful. But as you said, it's the way that a lot of companies do things these days. It's very, very hard to avoid it. So yeah, I know that that's how it's happened, and that's exactly what I'm saying. This is not how it should happen. I'm a human being, and Orange have affected me in the way that you've dealt with your business. When I've contacted you to try to clarify this issue, to try and find some remedy to the issue, you've been not yourself, but Orange, other Orange agents have been disrespectful. They've spoken over me. They've avoided answering questions, and I've got all this recorded, right? And then they've promised to call me back within certain times and not managed to keep that contract. And yet what I'm saying, what's happening to me at this end is I'm being forced through contract to keep the contract that I have with Orange. Now I would inform Orange and I would advise Orange to look into this. Right, the verbal contract that I have with Orange twice, for them to contact me within a certain time, is equally as strong as the written contract that Orange have for me to service this ongoing monthly agreement. Equally as strong. And the dishonour of me waiting in all day for phone calls, when a company that's there to administer has failed to administer what they've said, It's much greater than me having financial issues and and phoning you up and trying to sort it out. This is what Orange needs to take into account. I state clearly and unequivocally that I have absolutely no problem with arranging some sort of payment as to reinstate the monthly contracts, the monthly payments. But there's an issue with the bill that I've got in arrears and the dishonour of the company when I've called to try to deal with this. Okay, Michaela, I'm done. Go on, sorry.
I understand. You know, I can't sit here and say that I don't agree with what you're saying about the fact that you've asked for a call back off the manager. That call should have been made, you know, as soon as the manager was possibly available. I really can't comment on why the callback wasn't made just because I wasn't there and I don't know the people or the circumstances.
That's fine, Michaela.
But it's not acceptable business practice, and you know, if you ask to speak to a manager, then if there's not one available right then, somebody should call you back as soon as they are available. So you know, there is no denying that part of this whole thing is pretty disgraceful, and I am going to be feeding that back for you, and obviously mentioning that to my own manager so it can be looked into further.
Okay,
why the callback wasn't made.
I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward, how could we resolve this for you? If we were able to set some sort of an arrangement for you to repay the balance whilst paying your normal invoices, would you then be happy to reset your direct debit for your normal bills and just call up and pay an instalment separately?
Absolutely. I mean, once Michaela, can I just say something as well, just a little bit off topic. I really appreciate the way that you're dealing with this. I appreciate and I understand that it's probably coming from an awkward angle for you. I accept that. However, you've dealt with it much better than anybody else who I've spoken to at Orange so far. So I'll give you my thanks for that, my respect.
Thanks very much, sir. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, there's really, you know, you've been respectful and spoken to me in a polite manner, and that's how you should be spoken to as a customer as well. So, you know, I appreciate you saying that, and I'm just sorry that you've not had this experience with the last couple of people that you've spoke to, and it's ended up being dragged out for you.
Well, that's okay. We'll find remedy. And what I agree with what you say. I've got absolutely no problem with sorting out some sort of payment for the ongoing. Yeah, moving forward. I think it was a phrase you used, wasn't it? So moving forward, but I do think that this issue with the arrears needs sorting out, and I think it should be discharged against the dishonour that Orange have shown, because it's disrupted my life quite severely.
Okay.
But if you can, sorry, Michaela, if you can get somebody to call me back at some point, I'm in most of the time now, and I'd very much appreciate that.
Okay. If you bear with me one moment, I'm going to go and speak to my team leader and see if he's got time to come and speak to you now quickly, because if we're going to get some sort of compensation for the inconvenience that you've been through, like you say, having to go to the shop and having your card payment declined, and the embarrassment and also the time it's taken for you to get somebody to have a conversation with you about this and not receiving callbacks, it's going to need to come from higher up. I can't just go and put the credits on people.
I accept that. That's brilliant, yeah.
But I will go and speak to him for you. If you don't mind me just popping you on hold, Mr.
Okay, that's fine, Michaela.
Call you back on your landline, so you're not actually using your landline to ring us, just to save.
Yeah, that'd be quite good actually. Could I ask if you call back in about just give me 20 minutes, half an hour, and I'll just make myself a drink.
Could I give you about 5 minutes? I wouldn't normally ask. It's just that my team actually finishes shift at 1:50. So I won't be able to give you a call back off my manager until.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, I'll give you a ring back in 5. Okay.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.